Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today I am going to continue from the last episode of the book The Truth, written by Robert G. Ingersoll, an American writer and orator. Now into the ninth episode. The church cannot give because it does not produce. It is claimed that the church has made men and women forgiving. I admit that the church has preached forgiveness, but it has never forgiven an enemy. Never. Against the great and brave thinkers, it has coined and circulated countless lies. Never has the church told nor tried to tell the truth about an honest foe. The church teaches the existence of the supernatural. It believes in the divine sleight of hand, in the presto and open sesame of the infinite, in some invisible being who produces effects without causes and causes without effects, whose caprice governs the world and who can be persuaded by prayer, softened by ceremony, and who will, as a reward for faith, save men from the natural consequences of their actions. The church denies the eternal, inexorable sequences of events. What good has the church accomplished? It acclaims to have preached peace because its founder said, I came not to bring peace, but a sword. It claims to have preserved the family because its founder offered a hundredfold here and life everlasting to those who would desert wife and children. So, it claims to have taught the brotherhood of man and that the gospel is for all the world because Christ said to the women of Samaria that he came only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and declared that it was not meet to take the bread of the children and cast it onto dogs. In the name of Christ, who threatened eternal revenge, it has preached forgiveness. Of what use are the Orthodox ministers? They are the enemies of pleasure. They denounce dancing as one of the deadly sins. They are shocked at the wickedness of the waltz, the pollution of the polka. They are the enemies of the theatre. They slander actors and actresses. They hate them because they are rivals. They are trying to preserve the sacredness of the Sabbath. It fills them with malice to see the people happy on that day. They preach against excursions and picnics, against those who seek the woods and the sea, the shadows and the waves. They are filled with holy wrath against bicycles and bloomers. They are opposed to divorces. They insist that for the glory of God, husbands and wives who loathe each other should be compelled to live together. They abhor all works of fiction and love the Bible. They declared that the literary masterpieces of the world are unfit to be read. They think that the people should be satisfied with sermons and poems about death and hell. They hate art, abhor the marbles of the Greeks and all representations of the human form. They want nothing painted or sculptured but hands, faces, and clothes. Most of the priests are prudes and publicly denounce what they secretly admire and enjoy. In the presence of the nude, they cover their faces with their holy hands but keep their fingers apart. They pretend to believe in moral question and want everything regulated by law. If they had the power, they would prohibit everything that man and women really enjoy. They want libraries, museums, and art galleries closed in the Sabbath. They would abolish the Sunday paper and stop the running of the cars and all public conveyances on the holy day and compel all the people to enjoy sermons, prayers, and psalms. These dear ministers, when they have poor congregations, thunder against thus syndicates and corporations against wealth, fashion, and luxury. They tell about Dives and Lazarus, paint rich men in hell and beggars in heaven. If their congregations are rich, they turn their guns in the other direction. They have no confidence in education, in the development of the brain. They appeal to hopes and fears. They ask no one to think, to investigate. They insist all to believe. Credulity is the greatest of virtues and doubt the deadliest of sins. These men are the enemies of science, of intellectual progress. They ridicule and calumniate the great thinkers. They deny everything that conflicts with the sacred scriptures. They still believe in the astronomy of Joshua and the geology of Moses. They believe in the miracles of the past and deny the demonstrations of the present. They are the foes of facts, the enemies of knowledge. A desire to be happy here they regard as wicked and worldly, but a desire to be happy in another world as virtuous and spiritual. Every Orthodox church is founded on mistake and falsehood. Every good Orthodox minister asserts what he does not know and denies what he does know. And the remaining part, we shall continue the next episode. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to this channel Positive Atheism and activate the bell icon.